there. This project is based on a holiday, and this year it starts Halloween, October 31st, which is on a Saturday, and it ends Monday, November 2nd. It's called the Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos. It's a Mexican holiday celebrated throughout Mexico, in particular the central and southern regions. This multi-day holiday involves family and friends, and they gather and remember those who have passed. In celebration, they create altars to remember the dead and traditional dishes and music, and the decorations include marigolds, the Aztec marigolds. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing a skull, and I have a few different examples on this sheet that you can look at to gather ideas for your own skeleton. And what we'll need today will be a pencil, eraser, a black Sharpie marker, and any colors that you would like to use to decorate your skeleton. So we're going to start with a piece of white paper. I'm going to move this to the side. And one thing I just want you to notice on the skulls is that every part of the skull's head is in decoration. So the cheeks, you'll notice, the chin, and the forehead is all decorated. So you're going to use a piece of white paper, and we're going to start from the center at the top of the paper, come down just a tiny bit, and you can start with a small guide dot. Now you can start with a pencil if you would like to start off first, and then trace it with a black marker. And you're going to, from that guide dot, make a nice curve out to the side of the paper on both sides. And you may want to just move your paper around as you're drawing your curve. And from the guide dot, you'll curve to the other side. And it's a little easier for me just to kind of turn my paper as I'm working. And you're going to continue and stop across from the other side. And what you're going to do is you're going to come in just a tiny bit from the end of that curve and do a smaller curve out. And do the same on the other side of your paper. Just curve out and stop. And then go back to the left side, and you're going to curve out, but then you're going to take a line and angle it towards the bottom of the paper on both sides. So you're going to curve out and take that down at an angle, and then just go from the left, do a soft curve up, and then attach to the other side. So now you have your outline of your skeleton, and what I'm going to do to make the eyes is I'm going to add my glue. Anything that's kind of a medium round shape you can use, or you can just draw it out if you'd like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to draw my circle just above that cheekbone area, close to the side of the head, but not directly up against it. So I'm going to trace my circle with my pencil, and then I'm going to have a little bit of space apart. Make sure they're kind of right across from each other, and then you're going to trace around the other for the other eye. And there you've got your eyes. And for the nose, it's basically an upside down heart shape. You can make it pointed or rounded. So you would take a line out at an angle in between the eyes, just below it, and then you can make a soft curve up and then curve up to the other side. And you can make any adjustments that you find necessary. It's just a tiny bit of adjustment. And try to draw lightly with your pencil in case you need to make any changes. And then just below the nose, you're going to make a curved line, and it's also going to be just below the cheekbone, slightly, not too much. And then we're going to draw the teeth. I think I'm just going to make that slightly lower so that I have room for my teeth. So just a little bit lower, make a nice gentle curve from one side to the other. And then on top of that curved line, you're going to make a couple larger curves, and then the curves start to get slightly smaller as they go out to the end of that larger curved line. And on the bottom, we'll just basically do the same thing. Okay, there you go. Now you have your basic outline, and you can trace this with your black marker after you've done your drawing. And then I'm going to go below and make my curve. And take your curves. As you can see, they get slightly smaller as you go to the outside of the edge of your mouth. And then you're going to do the same on the bottom. Okay, and then you're going to outline your circles. And just do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. There. Now you have the basic outline of features of your skeleton, and you're going to take your eraser and you're going to erase any of the existing pencil lines and clean it up a little bit. Now, before you get started, you're going to choose the colors that you would like to use to make the designs on your skeleton's face, and then you're going to start drawing those designs onto your skeleton. So as you can see on this example, you have so many different ideas, a lot of repeating shapes, and what you'll notice on these skeletons are leaf shapes. You'll see simple flower designs surrounding the eyes, on the forehead, and even on the chin. They can be various sizes. Half flower petals on the edges of your skeleton and around the eyes. A spider web if you wanted to make it a little scarier, with some stripes curving from the edges. And they all have some very simple designs. This one has stars, various sizes. This one looks like it has a crown on the inside of the forehead. This one has kind of a nice design with what look like petals and circles on the edges. So once you've kind of decided how you're going to create your skeleton, what I suggest is you start at the forehead and then work your way down. So you could kind of in the center pick a design, and it doesn't have to be the same design that I am drawing. And then you can then start to draw out what you'd like on your skeleton. Remember, we're covering all sides of his forehead, chin, and cheek area, and they can be very simple patterns. And I think I'm just gonna kind of do what looks like, almost looks like eyelashes, but not quite. They look kind of like a teardrop that varies in size. And you want to make sure, you want to try to have some consistency. You may have to make some changes to fit some of your designs onto your skeleton. So you may have to change the size of perhaps your design on the forehead to get that to be able to fit in. Okay. Okay. Now I think I need to kind of fix this a little bit. And it's okay to go back in, make some adjustments. Until you're happy with what you're drawing. And you can make several changes before you start to add your final color in. And you may want to just add some small circles. And each design that you create on your skeleton will be areas that you can bring in some fun colors. Now around the eyes, you could do a double circle inside. And I will be tracing over my pencil lines once I'm done creating the patterns that I'd like on my skeleton. So I think I'll just do circles. And then perhaps on the chin, you might want to do a small curve and then create perhaps a star. And it doesn't have to be a perfect shaped star. This needs to go out a little bit more at an angle, and I'll clean that up after I've traced it. And the spiral, almost like I was doing a question mark. And I want some symmetry, so whatever pattern I do on one side, I will create the same pattern on the other side. And perhaps maybe a couple of zigzags. And inside the eyes, I can create even a smaller circle, so you can see I'm repeating the pattern of circles, but then I'm going to make something out of that once I'm done. So I'm going to start to trace with my black Sharpie, and I think I'll just make this a little bit smaller than what I did with my drawing. Okay. Hi, Fritz. It's time for him to eat, so he's letting me know. And I'll just have to wait a little bit. Okay, draw another circle. Now if you wanted to trace like a quarter inside your larger circle, or just kind of wing it and do it by freehand, which is fine too. So I'm doing my cheeks. And add my zigzags. And you can even go inside the zigzags and repeat the same pattern inside of it if you'd like. I think I'll just do my curve here. There. And I think around the eyes, I will just make some soft curve lines around that center circle. Oop, hello. Move over. I know. I know. Okay. Now again, whatever design I create, you do not have to do the same one. I'm just trying to give you as many options as possible. Now hold your paper firmly down when you erase. You don't want to crinkle your paper. And then after you're done, you'll get to start to color this in. Okay. Now if you wanted to just leave it empty and not color it in, that's another option. But it is a lot of fun to color. And then just start to choose your colors. And then you can, I'm going to do a double heart shape inside. So it's okay if you have the room to do a double pattern inside the pattern that you've made already. Now in this skeleton, I made dots inside the teeth. I think this one I'll just leave empty. So I'm going to just put that right here so you can see. And then I will begin to color it in. So you can just start choosing whatever colors kind of speak to you when you're doing your coloring. Take your time. Now you can also use color pencil. I'm going to color this part. And you may want to kind of look around and see where else you can use the first color you're using instead of go back and forth. Kind of be more efficient while you've got this color out, where else you will use it. Now if you want to just keep a limited color palette, that's fine too. You may want to choose your colors before you start. And make sure the area that you're coloring, you don't leave any little white spots. Make it look nice and clean. Okay, so I think I'm going to add that down here. And I think I'm going to add that also to the flower around my eyes. One train of thought is that you could use the same color family in certain areas of your skeleton. Various shades of blues. You may want to just use all cool colors, which are green, purple, and blue. Or all warm colors, which are orange, yellow, and red. yellow to go back in this section. You can make this as detailed as you'd like, or make it very simplistic. Okay, you need to move. Move over. Thank you. He's pretty insistent. I know. Okay, and we're almost done. Okay, and take a look. Make sure that you've colored all your patterns inside your skeleton. And you can leave it that. I might color in around the flower in black just to make the eyes really pop. I may extend that up just a little bit higher. And then I'll give you a couple of ideas that you can add to your skeleton for fun. And I like the way this is coming out. And each time you do a drawing, you'll find that some ideas you'll like a lot. Others maybe not so much, but that's okay. It's all part of the process. Yeah, see, that works really well. I like that. And do the same on this side. Okay. Now, a couple of other ideas is to cut out your skeleton, and then you can add a piece of black paper to the background. So you can glue that down onto a black piece of paper, which will really make the skeleton pop. Another idea would be to make a mustache with the paper that you cut your skeleton out. You could draw a simple mustache and place that, and just use your glue stick underneath and glue a mustache down. Or you could make some flowers and add some flowers. I made this out of some scrap paper that I had, and glue with the glue stick down onto the corner of your skeleton. Use a black marker to outline it, and then you can color it in. Or you could use some scrap construction paper. Like, I have some scraps that I always hold on to in case I need to use it for a project, and then I just layered a couple of different colors, making just some soft, kind of almost cloud-like shapes, and a simple star. Doesn't have to be a star, it could just be a dot in the center. And then you could glue a flower onto the side of your skeleton's head. And I hope this gives you some fun ideas to do your Dia de los Muertos. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.